Welcome to my Dreamscape. I am Nihan and this is my very first YouTube video. It's not perfect. And honestly, if you came here expecting perfection, you might be in the wrong place. No one's first video is perfect. No one's last video is perfect either. Because perfection doesn't exist. That's the big secret. If I waited until everything was perfect to start, you would never see this video. And maybe you are in the same boat, waiting to feel ready. Spoiler alert, you won't. But that's okay. You can start anyway, and that's what this video is about. Starting before you're ready. Let me paint you a picture. For years, I had this dream of creating art and sharing it with the world. But I didn't. Why? Because I was too busy telling myself I'm not talented enough or my art isn't good enough to share. Eventually, I realized my talent wasn't the problem. I was the problem. I was using this endless list of excuses as a shield to protect myself from what? Embarrassment, failure, the slight possibility that someone might leave a mean comment. Honestly, the only thing I achieved by waiting was wasting my time. Here's the thing, readiness isn't something you wake up with one day, like, oh, now I'm ready. Nope, it's something that grows as you go. The act of starting teaches you what you need to know. And yes, it's awkward and messy, and sometimes you will cringe at your own work, but that's how it's supposed to be. Now let's talk about mistakes, because you will make them, I will make them. I'm probably making one right now by recording this 2 days before my microphone arrives. But we're rolling with it. Mistakes are how you learn. Every time you mess up, you're just collecting data. You're figuring out what works and what doesn't. There's actually this thing called productive failure, where researchers found that struggling and failing can lead to deeper learning. So yeah, go ahead and fail. You're basically just hacking your brain into learning faster. And honestly, I'm telling honestly so many times while I'm not pronouncing that word correctly. Isn't that what life is all about? Making glorious, embarrassing, mildly horrifying mistakes and then getting better because of them. Something I've been thinking about lately is how easy it is to compare yourself to people online. You see someone's amazing painting or their perfectly edited video and you're like, why can't I do something like that? But here's what you don't see, their first attempt. The sketch that looked like a potato with legs, or the 47 hours they spent screaming at their computer because their editing software kept crashing. We don't see the messy middle, but it's there. And honestly, if we did see it, we would probably feel a lot better about our own work. That's why I've started focusing on progress over perfection. It's not about being the best, it's about being better than I was yesterday, or at least trying to be. So how do you start when you feel completely unqualified? Simple. You just do what you can with what you have. For me, that meant using my phone to record this video and editing it on CapCut, which by the way is free and surprisingly easy to use. You don't need fancy gear. You don't need a studio. You don't even need to know what you're doing half the time. You just need to start. My first step was creating an Instagram account for my art. It wasn't groundbreaking, it's still not. And I think I only 5 people liked my first post. But it was a start, and that's all that matters. Your first step doesn't have to be big, it just has to be a step. Sometimes I think of it like walking through fog. You can't see the whole road, but you can see the next step, and that's enough. Take that step, and the next one will appear. Before you know it, you've gone further than you ever thought you could. So if you're waiting for a sign to start, this is it. Whether it's painting, writing, starting a business, or I don't know, learning to play kazoo, just start. Embrace the mess, the mistakes, the cringe-worthy moments. That's where the magic happens. Thank you for watching my first very imperfect YouTube video. If I can start, so can you. And trust me, it's worth it. Even if all you discover is that you enjoy it, that's more than enough. The joy you feel while creating or trying something new doesn't need to be justified. It's not about being the best, it's about how it makes you feel. Sometimes just loving the process is all that matters. I hope this video inspires you to take the leap into whatever you have been dreaming about, and see you on the next one.